Great to have your company on this very special edition where we get you all the updates from the pre-Paragliding World Cup in Billing. Well, the opening day of the competition did turn out to be an eventful one. However, the excitement was just about to begin. Day one did start on a competitive note, but not after the weather gods began to intervene. Here's a quick look.
It was now time for some action in the pre-paragliding World Cup at Billing. After some much-needed practice, the participants were all set to take off. But before that, a pep talk by Paragliding World Cup observer Ulrich Ressop did help.
Okay, the competition consists of a number of tasks. Each day we will take off and we'll set a course that goes from maybe this village here, a mountain top there, some place out on the plains, and we basically try and see which pilots can get around the course the fastest. Some pilots may not make it around the course, and we just check to see how far they travelled. So the winner is basically the person who arrives in goal first. Each day after the pilots have finished flying, they bring their GPSs to me and I download the track logs from the GPSs. From that we can feed that into some scoring software which basically determines who got round the course fastest, and it determined how far pilots flew that didn't make it all the way around the course, and from there it's easy to make a ranking of the pilots in the task. There's a few other little things which we use just to assess how well a pilot was flying. Pilots that fly in front more, that try and find the way for the rest of the pilots, we give them extra points called leading points. But the main thing is to get around the course as fast as possible. We also use GPS track log data just to verify that the pilots are home safely. So the whole system is kind of integrated to make sure we know where the pilots are and we know that they're home safely. We have a task committee. We get these pilots in advance. That's pilots that know the area quite well and that are experienced competition pilots. They sit down each day, we take the weather forecast into consideration and we design a task best suited for the weather conditions. Basically, the best pilot in this format is the fastest. So it's the pilot who can get around the sky as fast as possible. So he'll be a pilot that can thermal efficiently, climb efficiently, and can glide very fast, but also someone who can pick a good line.
The participants were ready for some action, and the serene backdrop could only add to the excitement of these pilots.
Today's task is going to be quite difficult because the weather is quite poor. We have a lot of cloud development over there. It's already started and the clouds are much lower than the launch. So it means the cloud base is very low, so it's going to be difficult to fly a task. So we've set a very short task today to try and see if we can do something with the day. So we're starting off at launch here. There's a 2-kilometre cylinder around the launch. All the pilots must wait there until the start time, which is 12:30. After that, the pilots are going up towards the next turn point, which is B11, but we have a large cylinder around it, so they only need to go to about here, and they have a choice of where to go, and then after that, we want to pull pilots away from the ridge and all the clouds. So we have a cylinder around B27, and the cylinder is about like this. It's a 3-kilometre radius cylinder, so the pilots can come here and then they go towards the next turn point. That's around B40, but there's a 7-kilometre cylinder around it, so it's quite a big cylinder. Again, the pilots have choices where to go, and they don't need to go into the big mountains. and possibly into the clouds. And then after that, it's straight back along the ridge, and we have a small turn point just on the next ridge. That's BO2, and that's the end of the racing.
Perfect weather and a perfect opportunity. These participants couldn't have asked for more, and weather forecaster David Hanning explained why.
This is David Hanning at the Paragliding Pre-World Cup in India 2013 with a weather forecast. Today we are lucky to have had colder temperatures over the night that have delayed the cloud development. We have two air masses that we're working with, a lower one with a low base around 2,200 meters and a higher cloud base you can see behind me reaching up to between 3,000 and 3,500 meters. We have a strong east wind component this morning, which is causing a little misconfiguration with the launch, but should shift around to the west, and in the landing zone as the competitors come for finish, we should see the western winds kick in. That will cause overdevelopment all along the mountains this afternoon, and cloud base will again be lower, closer to the 2,200 meters. If you look past me over my right shoulder, you can see it's already begun. So the competitors are in a hurry to get off the launch so that we can get in the sky and have a great day of flying.
The participants, once up in the sky, looked like flocks of birds hovering around, a spectator's delight. However, it was just after a couple of hours of flying when the weather gods played spoil sport, while the task of the day had to be cancelled.
Today's task was cancelled because of excessive cloud build-up. You can see over there the clouds are already building really strongly, and we're worried that the whole sky is going to fill in and the pilots will have nowhere to go. There's already some pilots that were very high and they were in a good position, but with the cloud building beneath them it could have been quite a risk. So we lose a day in the competition. We hope we won't lose more days. Obviously if we don't fly at all in the competition is void. I don't think that's going to happen. The forecast is quite good coming up.
Apart from all the participants, the president of the Billing Paragliding Association, Mr. Sudhir Sharma, was also at the mercy of the weather gods.
So definitely I'm very happy the way tournament is going, but the only concern is the weather conditions which have not been so favorable for first 2 days, but we are hopeful and to be the tournament to be a successful, we need at least 4 days clear weather. So we still have 5 days to go. So I think the rain gods will show their mercy on us.
However, the day couldn't have ended on a low. Fun and frolic did continue at Billing, with acro pilots performing stunts, while there was also a hot air balloon ride at the landing.
I love India.
Well, let's really hope that the rain stays away while we get to witness some action from the Pre-Paragliding World Cup in Himachal Pradesh.